Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the Shuck. And this is the first video of the new year. And a very, very happy new year. I hope you have a prosperous, loving, just super duper year. And for those knife addicts, I hope you get exactly what you're looking for. If not, get close. That's the best you can do. Anyway, enough of the waffle. This is what I'm going to talk about today. You can see the wee flag up there. This is a UK made knife, and I'm going to show you a couple of UK made knives. But this is a tailor's eyewitness. I'd not seen one like this. Obviously they're out there, but I'd just not seen one. And I managed to get this. This is my first bought knife to bring in the new year. It is just, I adore this little knife. And this is going to be a carrier. These knives I do tend to carry as secondary knives. So I love having them. This one's in horn, I believe. Somebody had actually, I think I showed it on the channel. Somebody had actually seen it and said it was horn. I wasn't sure what it was. There's striations there you can see. I thought it was either wood, like a dark wood, a hardwood, or it was horn. I'm not, but I think it's horn anyway from what this fella had said. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. I'm not sure even what age this is, but I'd say it's a fairly old tailor's eyewitness. Just on the bolsters alone and the way they're done, it's really unusual. If I can show you, it like starts here, there's like an indentation and then the line. And then the opposite side, it starts with the indentation, then a line. I thought this was mistakes, but it's exactly the same in the other one. Indentation, a line, and whether they've been chasing it with and that's the way they started when they were chasing the line across. I don't know. But it's interesting and it's something I hope I'll find out about. It's got a lovely, just a straight little shield on a hot dog shield. But this is the bit that gets me. Two pins in it. Can you see them there? The outline of the two pins. For a little shield, they went to the expense, because it takes time, to pin this little thing in, which is just gorgeous. The backspring in this is pretty good. Considering I do think it's a fairly old iteration of tailor's eyewitness. I love it. Now, it's a jackknife, two-bladed jackknife. I think people would now call it a slim trapper, but it hasn't got that trapper swollen shape to it. So to me, it's just a jackknife, a slim jackknife, gentleman's knife, if you like. It's nearly got that sort of Barlow bolster on it. In the front here, you have a little pen blade. I'll come back to that little pen blade. In the back, which is quite tight, if you look at it, it's quite tight. But I'm going to be dropping this anyway, but I'll tell you about that when we get back to it. The main blade is a long Turkish clip, California clip. Again, I really don't know what the difference is. I've heard that many different variations of it. I don't know. But here's the unusual. It just says Taylor across here, Sheffield. Can you see that? It's been a bit worn. But it just says Taylor and then Sheffield underneath it. I'm not sure whether there's an England underneath that. Sometimes they would put that. It actually might say England. It does say England. There you go. It says Sheffield, England underneath that, which is an unusual looking marking for the modern tailor's eyewitness, which makes me think this is quite old. But it's a lovely long thin blade, really usable, especially for your sandwiches or something like that. On this side, you have the eye, the tailor's eye, and it says Witness Sheffield underneath it. So I'd never seen it done in that configuration. The sort of this, the tailor's eye usually has the eye. Let me just show you. Let me just show you. There's the modern tailor's eyewitness. Yeah. Tailor, it's got eye and then it says Witness Sheffield, England. Nothing on the other side. And again, on the bolster, you have it. That's nice and clear there. So that's the modern version, of a tailor's eyewitness. We'll get back to that. I'll talk about that in a minute too. This is probably going to be a long one, just because I enjoyed doing them. That's all. So, I'm doing this sharpening series, and I'm going to be picking different blade steels. I'm going to start down at the really basic blade steels, and we're going to travel up. We've done our first one, and then somebody asked me, would you do a carbon one? And just so happens that this knife came with a condition. If you can see up at the top here, there's a chip here, and there's a chip at the blade in the end. And I'm going to round that off up to make that into a point. Rather than a pen blade, it's nearly going to be a spear point. This is a little small knife for basic task, cutting a bit of thread in there. It's not a hard use knife, but somebody has obviously chip that into doing something, and that's fine. The knife's the knife that you've got on you, and if you use it, chip it, fix it. That's a good thing. And again, that's the good thing about sharpening. But I think people would be interested to see how I deal with something like that in a knife, and maybe give somebody ideas of themselves about how to repair a knife like this. So if I get at least 3 people down below say they would like to see the sharpening of this little pen blade, which is not something you're going to see a lot of people sharpening a pen blade, but I think it's worth doing one. I'll probably do that this week. So yeah, if you want that, just down below say you would like to see that sharpened. Again, I'm only using that 1000 grit stone that I've got, nothing else. 1000 grit stone to strop, and bring this back to a nice edge. And I'm going to also drop the kick on this one. I'm going to have to drop it back up here. So I have nice little diamond files that I can do that. If you just want me to do that, if you want me to do it live when I'm doing the sharpening, I will. I probably will. If there's enough people who want the sharpening, I'll do the dropping of the kick. And what that will do is bring this little knife down so that I can get at the back blade even easier. If you see that, that's her straight on. There's not much there. You have to have a nail to get in, jam it in there and pick it up. Now, I can do it, but I just want to make it. I'd like to see a bit more of that nail clip there. So it's a beautiful knife. I'm really happy. This cost me about 40 quid. To me, it's an absolute bargain because it's gone back in that sort of history. Maybe not distant history, but just back far enough that it makes it really interesting for me. You've got a bit of a gap there. I could squeeze this and probably clear that, but I'm quite happy with it. That's the way the knife is. It still has snap. It still opens up. I'll probably not do that. I'll fix the blades up, give it a bit of a shine, and that's it. And then use it because I love using them. So some of the other ones that I've got, and this is just a jackknife, whatever way you want to put on the shape, slim trapper, whatever name you want to give it, not really important to me. This is just a jackknife, 2 blades coming from one side, and it's some of my favorite patterns of knives. Here's one of my definite favorites, just a serpentine shape. It's got the 2 blades, but you can see the way the main blade is much bigger than the pen. This has got a beautifully full pen. And this is a George Wolstenholme IXL, Sheffield, England. It's got the pen blade. Listen to that. This is like new in box nearly that I got it in. Somebody had tried to sharpen it and made a pretty poor job. There's a bit of staining starting to come, so it needs to get dealt with. So there we go. IXL, George Wolstenholme, Sheffield, England. One of my absolute favourite knives. Listen to that snap. It is beautiful. I love this knife. Just in a white bone. Gorgeous. Another one. You've maybe not seen this one. You'll have seen that one before. You've been away a while. This is a Coke bottle shaped one that I've had for quite a while now. It's just a smaller blade, but it's a great little secondary blade. It's got the full blade. And this is J.M. Meeson, M-E-E-S-O-N. And Sons, Sheffield. So it's not a company I know much about. And again, there we go. It's a lovely, it's like a large pen blade or a spear. The master spear. It is beautiful. Lovely full blade. That's not been used. It's been kept in it. And this is horn as well, I believe, or horn or bone. I think it's probably horn, to be honest, buffalo or something. But beautiful. And the same as that first one, which I think is great. They bring the back spring right the way round to the shorter blade so that it looks better. Can you see that? It just looks nicer. It's just another bit of extra work that if they weren't high end, it wouldn't have been done. Do you know what I mean? So at the time, these are quite high end knives. And I'm sort of going down in size. This is a lovely little small, they're ball jackknives with 2 blades sitting in the same configuration. This is another Wolstenholme, but with a clip point. Lovely. This needs a sharpen as well, and a lovely tiny little pen blade, which has been used more than the main blade, which tended to be the case, to be quite honest. It's George Wolstenholme, Sheffield, IXL. Beautiful little snap to it. Are the blades perfectly centered? No, but I don't care because of the age of this knife. That's not a problem. So that's a little run of UK-made jackknives. I think they're all fantastic and they're all absolutely usable. Do not think because they're old you can't use them. These have got carbon steel and they sharpen easy. They take a wicked edge, really wicked edge on them. So hopefully that's what you'll enjoy. And I just wanted to show, I'll take these three away. I'm sort of shocked at how few Taylor's Eyewitness. I used to have quite a few, but they've gone in trades and giveaways. I'll give quite a few of them away. This is their basic one, and just a bit of hardwood, but it's got this lovely backstrap on it. Isn't that just lovely? But this was done by a friend who lives in Scotland. He put a bit of bone in here. He cut a bit of this away and inserted this bit of bone just to give it a bit of a lift. This is well used. I do like carrying this as a secondary knife. And that is a budget version. And then here is another Taylor's Eyewitness, and this is the posh version. This is in ironwood, desert ironwood. This is a beautiful clip point. There you go. Taylor's Eyewitness, and you got the eye on all there. So you can see this is the modern version. It's just an absolute fingerprint magnet. It shines. If I just show, where's my cloth? Oh, there's my cloth. I'll just do my wee cloth here, my Jack Wolf cloth, which is one of the best you can get, I'll have to say. Look at that. What a beautiful blade on that knife. And this has all the bells and whistles, everything you want to look nice on a knife. This has it. I think it's one of the most comfortable Barlows out there, but also one of the nicest looking Barlows. And that's all I've got. So this year, I really need to get some more Taylor's Eyewitness. So if there's anybody out there who has a pen blade, I would love to get a little pen blade to go with the set. If you've got it, I've got plenty to trade, or we can talk money if need be. But yeah, please, if you've got any of these older knives, older British knives that you're not using and you want to trade them for something else, be it modern or maybe just another slip joint of some sort, please hit me up at any time on Instagram. Just PM me. I'd be really interested to see. I'm not saying I'm going to buy them all, but it'd be nice to have an option, and it'll get shown on the channel and used, I can tell you. Now, so this was the one we started off with, which is a UK one. Some of the American ones that I absolutely love, just a little jackknife serpentine shape. This is a case jackknife. I think they call this the Texas Jack, with the pen blades at the front, or sorry, the main blades at the front and the pen blades at the back. What do you want to know? I kind of prefer this way in some ways, and then when I see it and I've got the access to both nail nicks, it just makes this a super knife. It really does. Super little pen blade, nice and thick and fat. I enjoy this. What's it? I suppose I should give this. This is a 32 pattern. One of my favourite little case knives. Just a great secondary knife. And another one that I'm going to show you is the posh end of the bargain. This is a I think it's John Lloyd. Yeah, J.H. Lloyd, an American custom maker. This is one of my, and it's not the best. This is a custom maker, and listen to that snap. It's not the best, but it's a beautiful custom knife that I didn't pay a huge amount for, but I did pay for it. But look at that. This beautiful wood, ebony wood, and that polar bear, I just think is, look how well that is inset there. That's what I bought this knife for, that inset and that polar bear. So, it's not always about handles. It's not always about the blades. Sometimes the crest is just amazing. I just think that detailed work to get in there is amazing. So that's just a posh end. This is about the size of a 15 pattern, just to give you a size. So this knife's a little bit bigger than a 15 pattern and a little bit bigger, but very much the same as this is about the 15 pattern. So it's not that much difference. But so there we go. 2 American, 1 British, and you showed you a few other British knives. But that's the joy of my collection, is getting different knives, the same maybe blade shapes, but different handle shapes. Anything at all that's different. It's nice to have something of that in the knife itself. Just something that's a wee bit different from the one before it. And so I don't buy multiple. I very rarely buy multiples of, say, the Texas Jack. I wouldn't buy all the different handle materials. That doesn't really interest me. If I bought another one that I thought was a better handle material than this, I would then get rid of this for something else. So you're going to see a lot of British folders this year. I really want to up my game on them this year. I don't need to buy any more locking knives. I've ones there to trade that are not for me. I'll do that this year, and that'll keep that sort of up to date and a bit more relevant. But a lot of the times this year is going to be British, American, French, anywhere at all that I can get a pocket knife that's just a little bit different. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you. Don't forget, let me know down below if you would like me to sharpen that live, and I'll do that for you. And please like, please subscribe if you're here. You may as well. And enjoy. This is a no pressure channel. I'm not going to force anybody to buy anything. I just want you to share my collection with you and maybe do a few updates. And this year I'm going to do more sharpening. I'm going to do more modding. And modding, very simple modding, not complicated. So there you go. Take care now. Paddy's away. And a very Merry New Year if I didn't say it before. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. I love yous all. Nah, I don't, but I like yous. Bye.